XPR here, finally done my TMNT versions ranked video, and I decided to hold this a very special day, Thanksgiving. A time to be with the family. Seriously, there's nothing else going on these days, just Thanksgiving, and that was weird. But yeah, just Thanksgiving, that's the only thing special coming today. But anyways, let's get on with this as quick as possible. And number 12. Look, there are TV shows that I watched the first episode, I don't like them, but I'm going to give them a chance. Isn't that right, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? And there are TV shows that I watched the first episode, and I can assume that they're crap, I'm not even gonna watch them. Isn't that right, Iron Fist Season 1, even though Season 2 was surprisingly a lot better? And every now and then, there are TV shows that I don't even make it past the first episode because how bad they are. Isn't that right? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Next Mutation. Man, this show's terrible. Like I mentioned, it was so bad I didn't make it past the first episode. The special effects just suck. I don't know what the heck is going on with the story, but apparently Venus is like the turtle sister or something like that. Shredder. Oh my god, that armor. I know it's a TV quality, but come on, Shredder looks terrible on this when you compare it to the classic movie costume. But anyways, Next Mutation, really bad, wouldn't recommend it. Let's get on to the next one. Number 11, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Superman Legends. I believe that was called. Let's just call it TMNT anime. And look, this year I've gotten a lot into anime. And while scrolling through Chris anime, I was like, there's a TMNT anime? Now I gotta watch this. This actually could be pretty good. And so I watched it. Okay, so story behind this one, you have like basically it's pretty much takes place during the 87 Turtles universe. And you have turtles like with this mutagen crystals, and then also the bad guys have them, which pretty much turns them into stronger versions of themselves. And like there's like this fairy that gives it to them, the Sable Fairy, and then like the second episode is like this Splinter's Ninja Clan. It's a really confusing story. And that's not even the worst part. This wasn't even a series, it was pretty much two commercials to advertise action figures. So it's pretty much bamboozled into watching two freaking OS. But it's not that bad, you know, there's still some fun to be had in this show. If you don't mind anything that I just said, if you don't find that story confusing, you might find some enjoyment on this, but as for me, I'm never gonna watch this again. Number 10, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. I believe this film was also subtitled Turtles in Time, if I'm not mistaken. I always known that Teenage Mutant Turtles 3. I saw it a few times, so it's called Turtles in Time, something like that. So I'm not sure if that's actually part of the title. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, yeah, it's pretty bad. So story behind this one, April buys this weird scepter thing and ends up transporting her to the past feudal Japan, and this person switches bodies with her, and like turtles needs to go back to the past also, using a scepter to rescue her. And my problem with this movie is just that this pretty much could have been done with any character. It doesn't feel like a neutral story. And a personal story with me, I grew up with the first two films. I actually didn't see them part 3 until I was like a huge Ninja Turtles fan. And I'm happy I didn't discover it back then. Because like when I saw it for the first time I liked it, but come on, I was a kid back then. Now watching it, it's pretty bad. Story, just like the Next Mutation one, is very confusing. None of the characters are likable. Freaking Casey Jones comes back in this movie, and he is wasted in here. Just pretty much like this few cameo appearances. And also the fact that he has like this ancestor, something like that. I haven't seen this film in a while, but it was a really weird movie. So yeah, to be honest, when it comes to this movie, I would rather watch the Michael Bay movies than watch this film again. Speaking of which, number 9, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014. Look, I know this one is really bad, but this one is a guilty pleasure of mine. I find some enjoyment watching this. So to be honest, this film for sure have pretty much been titled the April O'Neil movie with Teenage Mutant Turtles showing up every now and then. Because seriously, it's pretty much an April O'Neil movie. She's the highlight. The turtles pretty much just show up in the background. I do have to admit though, I did like the story that they took, the origin story, except the part that Splinter, like learns martial arts from a book. That's pretty stupid. Like if he's a rat, he can't read, and who the heck flushes a martial arts book down the sewer? But if you can get past that, it just have some enjoyment with this movie. Shredder looked really awesome with this movie. I guess another complaint would be the humor. Some scenes were really funny, but most of them are just fart jokes. So yeah, and I guess the character design for turtles do kind of bother me a little bit. But like I said, I have some enjoyment watching this movie every time I rewatch it. So it's a really bad movie, but it's enjoyable to watch. Number 8, Teenage Mutant Turtles Out of the Shadows, the sequel. And look, I remember the first time they released a trailer for this movie. Like Bebop and Rocksteady are gonna show up. Baxter Stockman too. Shredder looked really awesome. And then the Super Bowl trailer, like they revealed Krang, and I was like really hyped for this movie. And I like it. It's just that I wish it could have been a lot better. You got Stephen Amell in this movie as Casey Jones. And you pretty much just wasted him here. Because he could pretty much play a really awesome Casey Jones. Because I'm a big fan of Arrow. I need to catch up with recent seasons. But Stephen Amell could play a really good Casey Jones. But they gave him like, this new backstory that he's like a cop. And pretty much just ruined the character in here. Gotta say though, Bebop and Rocksteady were definitely the highlights of the movie. They were really funny and sometimes even badass. I did like that the turtle designs were improved a little better for this one. And I guess when it comes to problems with me on this one, other than the burn, like comedic moments that aren't really that funny, I also gotta say the villains were pretty weak. I like Krang that we're seeing him on live action for the first time. That was cool, but sometimes he could be pretty annoying. And Shredder, they've been building him up through the whole film as really menacing character. Now he gets taken down by Krang really easily. Like he didn't even get a chance to fight the turtles in this movie. So that was pretty much a big disappointment when it comes to this. But yeah, Out of the Shadows. It's a fun movie, one of favorite Turtles movies, but I just wish it could have been a lot better. Number 7, the 1987 Ninja Turtles cartoon. Now, technically, I became a Turtles fan with the 2012 show, but this is the first show that I watched, because I remember that I got like a DVD for this when I was a kid. I didn't know what this was. Actually, I think I did. I think I saw movies before, but I didn't know that there was a cartoon or something. And of course, as a little kid, I wasn't the biggest fan of this, but now watching it, I do find some enjoyment. I love that, like every single episode had like different mutant of the week. That was a pretty cool concept. And then like the final seasons, like it got really dark. They got the different animation style on the Lord Drek plot, which for me that pretty much just ruined the cartoon for me, because they're not bad. It's just that it was so different from the actual show itself that that enjoyment I had was pretty much gone. But as for those first few seasons, they are amazing. There's a lot of enjoyment to find with this show. As for our next one, it pains me to do this, but number 6, Rise of the TMNT. What can I say? This show is actually growing on me. I've trashed it a lot, but it's actually growing on me. Again, just like the 87 cartoon, I do love the whole concept of like the different mutant of the week. The action scenes aren't that bad. It does have some pricelessly funny moments. The character designs, they kind of bother me a little, but I'm getting used to them. Except for Splinter, I'm not gonna used to that. And yeah, again, getting back to the villains, not only the different villain of the week, but the fact that They pretty much just appear in it like constantly throughout the episodes. That's a really cool concept, and yeah, I'm willing to see if this gets any better because I'm actually liking it so far. I guess the only problem would be that I wish it would have an ongoing plot, but other than that, there's some fun to be had with this show. Number 5, TMNT Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze. For me, it's a really overrated movie because only enjoyment I kind of found with this was the Vanilla Ice song and Token Razor. Cause the story really isn't that good with this one. What else? It pretty much just focuses more on the humor than the darker stuff that we pretty much just saw in the first movie. Super Shredder, he appears in this movie and he is completely wasted because he defeats himself. That is pretty damn bad. And there's the fact like the turtles don't even use their weapons in this one. They pretty much using their background stuff. So thanks a lot, adults from back then, for ruining that. But yeah, final thoughts on this movie. It is overrated, but there's some fun to be had in this one. Number 4, TMNT, the 2007 movie. And first movies I saw were the first two, but this one was the movie that made me love the Turtles. Note how I'm saying movie, not cartoon. But this was the movie that made me love the Turtles. Really like the whole story going on with this one, with the Stone Warriors and the monsters. And this movie actually has some of my favorite versions of Splinter, April, and Casey. But I think for me that what makes this movie so special is definitely that ending with the Splinter Shrine. Where you have like the different Easter eggs from the first movies. You have the Shredder helmet, the ooze canister, the Time Scepter. So I thought it was a really special moment at the end. But yeah, it's definitely a good movie. Really underrated. The voice cast is really good. Love the animation. And you haven't seen this, definitely give it a watch. It's a really good movie. Okay, top 3 time. And I gotta say, this was really hard to choose because I really love this last 3 versions. But anyways, let's get to it. Number 3 is the original Ninja Turtles movie. And I know for a lot of people, this is the definitive version of the Turtles. I kind of agree. I really like what they did with the Turtles in here. This is a really great movie. One of my favorite movies from the 90s. Just the suits, the designs look really amazing. Shredder was really badass and terrifying in this movie. Same with April and Casey. They were really great and probably one of my favorite versions of these characters in the movie as well. And yeah, the action scenes, the how they mix the dark comedic stuff, it's pretty much the best Ninja Turtles movie. And no matter how many movies they keep releasing, this is always gonna be the best one. Okay, if the top 3 were hard, the top 2 were even harder to choose from. And if you think you have me figured out, I just have one thing to say: plot twist. No, not that. Number 2 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the Nickelodeon cartoon. And I feel like I'm betraying this show because this is like the show that made me love the Turtles. It has been a huge part of me the last few years. I first considered one of the best cartoons of all time. So putting it at number 2 was a really hard decision for me, something really hard for me to do. And I gotta be honest, when you rewatch the show, you can see that it wasn't off to a good start. You rewatch the show and season 1's pretty much the worst one. But like starting in like the final episode of season 1, and until season 5, this show kept me going, coming back after watching new episodes every weekend. Well, it did stop at one point. Season 4, Turtles in Space. I don't know what they were thinking with that. I wasn't the biggest fan of that arc. I like the villains and creatures that we see in that arc, but the story itself wasn't that good. So I'm happy that they pretty much just fixed that in the final episode with the Super Shredder arc. And then came Tales of the TMNT, the final season. And a lot of people don't like that one, but I pretty much just love it. One of my favorites, just because different stories featuring Usagi, the monsters one. I really love those. And the final episodes, Mutant Apocalypse, I wasn't the biggest fan of those, but that ending, though, really emotional. So, yeah, this is definitely an awesome show. Like I said, I consider one of my favorite animated shows of all time. But I'm eventually going to take a number one spot, the 2003 show. Memories that I have from the show is that they used to pass the show on TV when I was a kid. I wasn't really interested, but I finally saw it when it came to Turtles Forever. I was gonna put it separately, but you think about it, this is pretty much the finale for the 2003 series, so I decided to add it here. And this is pretty much what introduced me, pretty much just made me love the Turtles, appreciate them. Okay, two things. So it was the 2012 show and this particular special because the story, the different turtles from the different universe, I really loved that. But 2003 show itself, I wasn't really a big fan of that. But now watching that the show, it is pretty damn awesome. This is pretty much the definitive Shredder. No contest there. And also the definitive versions of different characters like Bishop, Stockman, Hun. And then there was the different stories. Battle Nexus, the same as it never was. Some really amazing storytelling in this one. Exodus, season 4 finale. Then came the season 5, which I haven't seen all the episodes yet. I did saw a finale though, so I'm really interested in watching those when I have the time. And then came Fast Forward, where I really wasn't the biggest fan of that, but I did like the concept they were going with. And Back to the Sewer was pretty much a great way to end this show. So yeah, for me, 2003 show, the best version of Turtles for me. So that's pretty much what I think of all the versions of Mutant Ninja Turtles and how I would rank them. Do you agree with this list? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're new here, subscribe. And hit the like button and share. And click the bonus so you miss any videos. And I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.